Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. This time we're switching gears from the hustle of everyday life to something truly awe-inspiring. Remarkable wildlife encounters around the world.
I know what you're thinking lately. The news has been full of those awkward human-wildlife interactions, right? But we're flipping the script today.
We're about to uncover some truly incredible animal experiences that highlight the beauty and wonder of our planet while keeping it respectful, responsible, and totally mind-blowing.
Get this. Imagine diving into the deep blue off the coast of South Australia, and suddenly you're in the middle of a spectacle more dazzling than any underwater light show. Hundreds of thousands of giant Australian cuttlefish putting on a show just for you.
And it's not just any show, it's their annual mating ritual. These cuttlefish, already known for their intelligence, take color changing to a whole new level.
Right. From May to September, Whyalla, Australia becomes a giant underwater festival of color and courtship. We're talking pulsating hues, males disguising themselves as females. Imagine a flamboyant underwater masquerade ball, and you're getting close.
Their camouflage is incredibly sophisticated. They have these specialized cells called chromatophores that contain pigment sacs. These sacs are controlled by muscles, allowing them to change color almost instantaneously. It's like having millions of tiny TVs on their skin.
That's wild. Okay, now let's journey from a dazzling underwater spectacle to a completely different kind of encounter. Picture yourself in a boat, but instead of chasing after whales, they're approaching you.
Laguna San Ignacio in Mexico offers precisely that. Unlike traditional whale watching where boats pursue these majestic creatures, here the gray whales, known for their curiosity, often approach the boats themselves.
It's like they're saying, hey there, come say hi.
Exactly. And what's even more remarkable is that Laguna San Ignacio is part of El Vizcaíno, a protected whale sanctuary. This approach to whale watching allows for a more respectful and insightful experience for both the whales and the humans, contributing to valuable research and conservation efforts.
Speaking of amazing adaptations, did you know there are slubs out there that photosynthesize like plants? I'm talking about the adorable leaf-sheep sea slugs of the Philippines.
It's a rare and fascinating phenomenon in the animal kingdom. These vibrant green creatures, found in places like Maracaibo Island, feed on algae. But it's not just about eating. They incorporate the algae's chloroplasts, which are like tiny solar panels, into their own bodies.
So they're essentially stealing the algae's superpower.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Indeed. However, this remarkable adaptation makes them particularly vulnerable to environmental changes, especially threats like climate change and destructive fishing practices. Protecting their habitat is crucial for their survival.
From the vibrant coral reefs to the vast open skies, our next stop takes us to Denmark's Wadden National Park. Imagine gazing upwards as millions of starlings take flight, moving in perfect unison, creating these mesmerizing, synchronized waves we're talking about, starling murmurations. Have you ever seen anything like it?
It's a spectacle that leaves you speechless. While we still don't fully understand the science behind these complex formations, some theories suggest it's a way of confusing predators, finding warmth, or exchanging information about feeding areas. Regardless of the reason, witnessing a murmuration leaves you with a profound sense of awe for the natural world.
It's like watching a perfectly choreographed dance, but on a massive scale and with millions of performers.
Nature's flash mob, if you will.
I love that. Okay, from the breathtaking aerial displays of starlings to the tranquil waters of Botswana's Okavango Delta. This time, it's not just about the wildlife, it's about the incredible people who are changing the face of safari tourism. Imagine gliding through the delta in a traditional mokoro, but instead of a male polar, you're being guided by a woman.
It's a sight that's becoming more and more common, and for good reason. The Okavango Delta, known for its mokoro excursions, is witnessing a rise in female mokoro polars.
That's amazing. What's driving this shift? It's multifaceted. There's a growing movement to empower women in traditionally male-dominated fields, and safari tourism is no exception. Organizations are actively training and supporting women to become guides, sharing their knowledge of the region's wildlife and culture.
So it's about breaking down barriers and creating opportunities.
Exactly. And the impact extends beyond just tourism. Empowering women in conservation and tourism has ripple effects promoting gender equality and sustainable practices that benefit communities and the environment. It's a beautiful example of how positive change can emerge.
And speaking of breaking barriers and exploring new frontiers, let's journey to the heart of South America, the Pantanal in Brazil. Now, when we think of safaris, we often envision jeeps traversing across the savannah. But the Pantanal offers a different perspective, a unique way to immerse yourself in the wild beauty of this incredible ecosystem on horseback. The Pantanal is a massive wetland, teeming with an astonishing array of wildlife. And what better way to experience it than on horseback, traversing its diverse landscapes from grasslands to forests, encountering creatures like jaguars, giant anteaters, and giant otters up close.
Imagine the thrill of spotting a jaguar lurking in the shadows or watching a giant anteater foraging for ants, all from the back of a horse.
It's an experience that connects you to the environment in a way that few others can. You're not just observing, you're part of the landscape, moving with the rhythm of the Pantanal.
Okay, get ready to have your mind blown again because we're about to meet a creature that defies expectations. Picture this. A mammal that glides through the air, but it's not a bat. It's covered in fur, but it's not a monkey. It's found in Southeast Asia and is often called a flying lemur, but it's neither a lemur nor does it actually fly. Meet the colugo.
The colugo is a perfect example of how appearances can be deceiving. This often misunderstood creature, also known as a flying lemur, is actually a unique species belonging to its own order, Dermoptera. And while they don't technically fly, their gliding abilities are nothing short of remarkable.
They sound like superheroes of the animal kingdom.
They truly are. Colugos possess a large membranous skin called a patagium that stretches from their neck to their limbs and tail, allowing them to glide effortlessly through the forest canopy for distances up to 200 feet.
That's incredible, but you mentioned earlier that they're often misunderstood. What did you mean by that?
Despite being relatively widespread in Southeast Asia, colugos are incredibly elusive and nocturnal, making them incredibly difficult to study. As a result, we still know surprisingly little about their behavior, social interactions, and even their exact conservation status.
So there's a whole other side to them that remains a mystery.
Exactly. And that's what makes them so fascinating. They remind us that there's still so much we don't know about the natural world, and that even the most familiar-sounding creatures can hold hidden depths.
From the mysteries of the rainforest canopy, let's journey to the rugged coastlines of Ireland, where we'll encounter a creature that embodies resilience and the power of conservation. Once on the brink of extinction, the Irish gray seal has made an incredible comeback, but their story is far from over.
The story of the Irish gray seal is a testament to the impact of dedicated conservation efforts. In the early 1900s, these magnificent creatures were nearly wiped out due to hunting and habitat loss. But thanks to protective measures and public awareness campaigns, their populations have rebounded.
That's heartening to hear. But you mentioned their story isn't over. What challenges are they facing now?
Well, while their recovery is a conservation success story, Irish gray seals are now facing new threats, primarily from climate change. Rising sea levels and increasingly frequent and severe storms pose significant risks to their breeding grounds and food sources.
It's a reminder that even when we make progress in protecting species, the work is never truly done.
Precisely. The interconnectedness of ecosystems means that what affects one species ultimately affects us all, highlighting the importance of addressing global issues like climate change.
Speaking of challenges and the importance of conservation, our next encounter takes us to Costa Rica, where we'll meet a creature that often evokes fear and misunderstanding, but plays a crucial role in maintaining a healthy ecosystem. Get ready to be charmed by the Honduran white bat, a tiny mammal with an outsized impact.
Don't let their small size and somewhat unusual appearance fool you. Honduran white bats are vital members of the rainforest ecosystem. These adorable creatures with their distinctive white fur and tiny orange noses might just be the cutest bats you'll ever see.
They're like little flying cotton balls, but you mentioned they're often misunderstood. Why is that?
Bats, in general, have a bit of an image problem. They're often associated with darkness, disease, even the supernatural. But the reality is that they play incredibly important roles in our ecosystems.
So what makes the Honduran white bat so special?
These tiny bats are essential pollinators, feeding on the nectar of various rainforest plants, helping to ensure their reproduction. They also contribute to seed dispersal, aiding in the regeneration of forests.
It's amazing how such a small creature can have such a big impact on the environment.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, despite their importance, Honduran white bats are facing increasing threats, primarily from habitat loss due to deforestation.
So what can be done to help protect them?
Organizations like the Tirambina Rainforest Center in Costa Rica are working tirelessly to protect these fascinating creatures and their habitat. They conduct valuable research, engage in habitat restoration, and raise awareness about the importance of bat conservation.
It's inspiring to see people dedicated to protecting these often overlooked creatures. It's a good reminder that even the smallest creatures can make a big difference and that our actions have far-reaching consequences.
Absolutely. Every species plays a vital role in the delicate balance of our planet.
Okay, ready for our final stop on this incredible wildlife adventure. Let's journey to the heart of Mexico City, where we'll meet a creature that seems like it swam straight out of a mythology book, the axolotl, an amphibian with a permanent smile and an extraordinary ability.
You're right about the smile. The axolotl always looks like it's got a secret joke it's not telling. But beyond their charming appearance, axolotls hold a special place in Mexican culture dating back to the Aztecs, who associated them with Izalotl, the god of transformation and rebirth.
It's easy to see why. They're absolutely fascinating creatures. And you mentioned an extraordinary ability.
Oh yes, axolotls possess this incredible ability to regenerate limbs. And we're not just talking about a tail here. They can regenerate entire limbs, even parts of their heart and brain. It's an ability that has captivated scientists for decades.
It sounds like something straight out of a superhero movie. What's the secret behind their regenerative superpower?
It's all about their cells. Axolotls have this remarkable ability to retain their larval stage cells throughout their lives. These cells, called stem cells, have the potential to develop into any type of cell in their body, making them incredibly efficient at repairing and regenerating tissue.
So they're like the ultimate survivors, but you mentioned earlier that they're found in Mexico City. That doesn't sound like a typical habitat for an amphibian.
You're right, it's not your average amphibian habitat. Historically, axolotls thrived in the ancient lake system of Xochimilco, a network of canals and waterways that were once part of Lake Texcoco on which Mexico City was built.
That's incredible. So they're practically living fossils adapted to a unique environment right in the heart of a bustling metropolis.
Exactly. But sadly, their remarkable resilience is being put to the test. Urbanization, pollution, and the introduction of invasive species have taken a toll on their populations, leading to their endangered status.
It's a stark reminder that even in the most unexpected places, wildlife faces significant challenges due to human activity.
Absolutely. And it highlights the importance of protecting these unique habitats and the creatures that call them home. For the axolotl, efforts are underway to conserve their remaining habitat in Xochimilco and to raise awareness about their plight.
And for those who want to experience the wonder of axolotls firsthand, are there places they can go?
Absolutely. Places like the Chapultepec Zoo and Zoological Los Coyotes in Mexico City have dedicated programs for axolotl conservation and provide opportunities for visitors to learn more about these fascinating creatures.
It's amazing how this journey has taken us from the depths of the ocean to the heart of a bustling city, showcasing the incredible diversity of life on our planet.
And it's not just about the diversity, it's about the interconnectedness of it all.
Oh, wow.
Every encounter, every adaptation, every challenge reminds us that we're part of this intricate web of life.
Absolutely. As we wrap up our deep dive into these remarkable wildlife encounters, I'm left with a sense of wonder and a renewed appreciation for the natural world.
Me too. It's a reminder that there's still so much out there to discover, to learn from, and to protect.
Well said. What small actions can we take in our own lives to make a big difference for wildlife and our planet? That's something I hope you'll continue to ponder long after this deep dive ends. Until next time, keep exploring.